Sulaiman ibn Dawud was, according to the Quran, a Malik king, and Nabi prophet, of the Israelites. Generally, Islamic tradition holds that he was the third king of Israel and a wise ruler. In Islam, Solomon is regarded as one of the prophets of God who was bestowed with many divine gifts, including the ability to speak to both animals and jinn. He is also said to have enslaved the shayatin devils and the demons, with the support of a staff or ring given to him by God. Muslims further maintain that he remained a faithful monotheist throughout his life, reigned justly over the whole of the Israelite nation, was blessed with a level of kingship that was given to none before him nor after him, and fulfilled all of his commandments, being promised nearness to God in Jannah, paradise, at the end of his life. Since the rise of Islam, various Muslim historians have regarded Solomon as one of the greatest rulers in history. The Quran narrates that the wind was made subservient to Solomon, and he could control it at his own will, and that the jinn also came under Solomon's control. The jinn helped strengthen Solomon's reign. The devils, shayatin, and demons were forced building for him monuments. God also caused a miraculous fount, or spring, of molten brass, or copper, to flow for Solomon, to be used by the jinns in their construction. When David died, Solomon inherited his position as the prophetic king of the Israelites. He was tried by God and had a body placed on his throne. He repented and prayed to God to grant him a kingdom which would be unlike any after him. God accepted Solomon's prayer and gave him what he pleased. There is no explanation offered in the Quran, but there is an authentic hadith that references Solomon saying each of his wives will give birth to a boy that will struggle in the cause of God, but forgetting to say, God willing. Because of this, none of his wives gave birth to a child except one that gave birth to an incomplete baby. This could be the body placed on his throne mentioned in the Quran. Construed allegorically, Solomon's loss of his ring to the demons may be understood to represent a human losing its soul to demonic passion. Attar of Nishapur writes, "If you bind the div demon, you will set out for the royal pavilion with Solomon, and you have no command over yourself's kingdom, for in your case the div is in the place of Solomon." Unlike the Talmudic tradition, Solomon was unaware and never participated in idolatry. Further, the Quran rejects that Solomon was a magician. Never did Solomon disbelieve, rather the devils disbelieved. They taught magic to the people. 2:102. Another important aspect of Solomon's kingship was the size of his army, which consisted of both men and jinn. Solomon would frequently assess his troops and warriors as well as the jinn and all the animals who worked under him. One day, when inspecting his troops, Solomon found the hudhud, Hupu, missing from the assembly. Soon afterwards, however, the hudhud arrived at Solomon's court, saying, "I have found out something you do not know. I have just come to you from Sheba with sure news." The hudhud further told Solomon that the people of Sheba worshipped the sun, and that the woman who ruled the kingdom was highly intelligent and powerful. Solomon, who listened closely, chose to write a letter to the land of Sheba, through which he would try to convince the people of Sheba to cease their idolatrous worship of the sun, and come to the worship of God. Solomon ordered the hudhud to give the letter to the queen of Sheba, Bilqis, and then to hide and observe her reaction. 964 The hudhud accepted Solomon's orders, and flew straight back to Sheba to deliver the letter to the queen. The queen then called her ministers to court and read aloud to them the letter from Solomon stating to the people of Sheba, "In the name of Allah, the most compassionate, most merciful, do not be arrogant with me, but come to me, fully submitting, Sulieman." She took counsel with her ministers and other court officials, saying, "O chiefs, advise me in this matter of mine, for I would never make any decision without you." The people of the court replied, "We are a people of strength and great military might, but the decision is yours, so decide what you will command." At length, however, the queen came to Solomon, announcing her submission to God. The Quran relates that Solomon died while he was leaning upon his staff and that he remained standing, propped up by it, until a little creature, ant or worm, gnawed at it, until, finally, it gave way, and only then did his body collapse. When we decreed Solomon's death, nothing indicated to the subjected jinn that he was dead except the termites eating away his staff. So when he collapsed, the jinn realized that if they had really known the unseen, they would not have remained in such humiliating servitude. Surah Saba 34:14. As he remained upright, propped on his staff, the jinn thought he was still alive and supervising them. They realized the truth only when God sent a creature to crawl out of the ground and gnaw at Solomon's staff, until his body collapsed. This verse is understood to teach the audience that jinn do not know the unseen, al-ghaib. Had they known it, they would not have remained toiling like fools in the service of a dead man.